Hello,
Hi,
day
everybody.
45
Mike and Mary here with Business as Usual.
with an asterisk.
And what does the asterisk mean?
Be safe, be virtual. Let us show you how.
And that's what today's subject is. It's about how to be safe, how to do what we do virtually. Who is the guy who taught us we don't have to touch stuff, try it on, walk inside, sniff it, touch it, to buy it first?
That would be the richest man in America.
Jeff Bezos, yes.
Remember when we
Amazon.
saw him in the airport?
I know, amazing.
Yeah.
Walking around like a human,
Yeah.
a normal guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was amazing. So what did he teach us? He taught us a new way to buy things, like books.
Yeah, clothing. Who would have thought that all clothing, well, not all, but shoes, all kinds of things that we normally would touch and hold and feel and have an emotional bond with before purchasing could be purchased by simply clicking a button.
Exactly. So we're going to break down the ingredients of a buyer side.
Because the point of all that is that buyers can buy electronically and will buy electronically. It takes some of the emotion out. You know, this has been a rather kinesthetic purchase, buying a home, right? So what if you didn't have to walk through so many houses? This is one of those things about the pandemic that's going to hang around after the pandemic is over, right? We are going to learn how to sell houses with less emotion and without having to walk into quite so many.
So on Monday, we did our readiness checklist.
Right.
Yesterday, we did the pre-appointment package.
We did.
So both of those things we can do virtually. Can we also do pre-approval virtually?
Well, of course.
Yes, and we've been doing that forever. Can we do our buyer presentation, meaning your POCA, the steps of the buying process, and the agency presentation? Can we do that on a video conference?
Absolutely.
We do. How about selecting homes?
Well, we always select
Sure. The
virtually. I
selection
mean, since there's no
process-
MLS book.
That's right.
Really, we've been looking at the computer and narrowing down
Yeah.
our selection to get it to the very, very best ones. We've been doing that. Now, maybe we didn't narrow down as closely as we now narrow. Maybe we narrowed it to where there was inventory, because we haven't had a lot of inventory in a lot of markets.
That's true.
But we narrowed it maybe to 10 houses or 12 houses. All we're really talking about doing is narrowing it down even further.
And people are picking neighborhoods. And they're
Oh, yeah.
checking drone shots, and they're
Right.
is the street right? Is the exterior right?
You can walk down the street with
you
Google
don't have
Maps.
to go in a house
Right,
to check out the neighborhood and the
Right.
street and the exterior.
right,
Okay, so we've gotten all of those ingredients done virtually so far.
right.
How about writing the offer and getting the earnest money deposit?
Well, the earnest money is a little bit trickier, but writing the offer, when did Dot Loop come along? 12 years ago
Long
or
time
something?
ago.
Yeah, we're good at that.
We now can do fund transfers into an escrow account
Right.
to get the earnest money on deposit.
Or at the very worst, your buyer drives a check over to the office that still has an admin that picks up the mail.
Some people are mailing them.
Yeah.
For sure. And of course, we register the offer with the listing agent, which is very important when you're in a multiple offer situation, to document when your offer gets communicated to the listing agent.
Right.
So we do that virtually. How about
We
negotiating?
do that electronically.
Can we negotiate virtually?
We've been doing that over the phone.
Yes,
So
we have.
using images might be an upgrade to that, but we've been I guess over the phone is virtual, isn't it?
Next step would be appraisal.
Oh, that's a little trickier too. Now, in some states that are not locked down, the appraiser can go to the house, right? And gloves and booties, and maybe you sanitize when they leave. There's also drive-by appraisals.
Drive-by appraisals have become a lot more prevalent.
Well,
yes.
especially with an agent who's smart enough to do those comparables, to do photos and maybe even short videos of drive-bys. Guess which appraisals are going to get done quickest?
Yep. And then we've got transaction follow-up from contract to closing. All of that's being done virtually. And then we've got the actual closing, which, roundtable closings don't exist anymore.
Right.
And then you've got moving in. We can sanitize the house in between occupants.
Yes, we can.
And we've got our client follow-up.
That could be, by the way, that can be an ingredient in an offer
It could
that the
be.
seller will pay for, or not,
You
just an
betcha.
option. Yeah.
All right, our client follow-up. We always put our clients and prospects into a follow-up system, especially after a transaction.
Yeah, we're not taking them to dinner because
No.
the restaurants are closed.
And securing the funds.
Yes.
So what have we left out? Two things, and only two: showings and inspections. That's it. That's all that's being done unvirtually right now. And it also are things that can be done virtually right now.
Depends on the inspector.
It does. And of course,
And
your
the
offer
state.
is subject to a final inspection walkthrough.
Right. See, there's the kicker.
Yeah.
If you write the offer so that you agree on a price, this is the house we want to buy. I mean, think about the last house you bought and how you knew before you got there what kind of woodwork it was and if it was clean or dirty. And you could see the carpet and you could see the condition of are the appliances white? Are they gold? Are they stainless steel? Are they black? You can see all of that. If there's a home warranty, things work or they're gonna work. So subject to inspection and final walkthrough?
Yes.
Yeah.
So we want to demystify this home buying process a little bit here. And if you're in one of those states where there's martial law and you're not allowed outside your house, I figure out that you can sell a house to a buyer without them setting foot inside of it.
Yep.
That's what today is all about, is virtualizing the buyer side of the transaction. Now, if you'd like this checklist,
Wait, you said there were two things. Inspecting?
and showings. Yeah.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
we're doing the showings virtually and they're doing the inspection virtually and finally before actually moving in.
Yeah. Well,
It's,
or after the offer is accepted. There's another time if you've got a buyer that wants to walk through it after the offer is accepted, subject to that approval. That can be done. Or, one showing is different than 12 showings. I mean, I agree with some of our students who are saying the days of showing 10 houses at once are over. So
They
that's
should
a
have
good
been
thing.
over 20 years ago.
Yeah, with Wickman, we've known that a long time, right?
Seriously. Yeah. So here's what we want you to do. Rethink the whole buyer side. Reinvent it. And then reinvigorate it by making it virtual. Because you can serve your clients just as faithfully with world-class service virtually as you're doing driving them around. What was it Floyd always taught us? What's the number one waste of time in real estate today? Showing homes to lookers. Well, that day is over. We don't have the luxury of doing that anymore. So let's get virtual and stay safe.
Take a look at that list, y'all, and decide which parts you already are strong at, and then convince yourself that those other parts are learnable, and set about a plan so that you can be a virtual agent.
And we'll be with you tomorrow.
Yeah,
and
that's for sure.
All the way through this.